at you live from YB Recording. It's The Edge with Joe and Alex.
Oh, yeah, that's Keep It Alive by Naughty Jane. Guys, welcome to The Edge with Joe and Alex.
How you doing, Alex?
Hey, Alex.
Very cool, very cool. Thanks for dropping in, hang with us tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for.
It's all good. Well, that was Keep It Alive off your upcoming CD. Title track, Keep It Alive, on F&A Records. Tell us a little bit about Keep It Alive.
Well, Keep It Alive is actually a song we previously had not recorded. Keep It Alive is something we had played live a lot, but we had never gotten a chance to demo or anything. So we kind of wanted to put that on the record because people are familiar with the song, but we had never recorded it. So that's something that we actually added to the record.
Very cool, very cool.
Basically new old.
No, very cool. Like people,
Old song recorded for new.
people that seen you play, probably many shows. Remember you guys jamming it, but it
I
never
know
got
a lot
laid
of people
down.
that go, "Oh, I love that tune." So I mean, it's a song that's one of our songs that people remember from back when we used to play it.
Very cool, and you're giving it
Yeah.
back right to them.
Yep.
That's the
Yeah.
way to do it. That's the way to do it.
idea.
Well, tell us, obviously we're going to get into F&A Records, but give us a little bit of background on when you guys formed, kind of like how the name came about, all that good stuff.
Bob would know that better
Yeah, right.
since I joined later.
Well, when I first went to see the band, I was actually they were a band called High Noon, and I went to see them, and I thought the musicians were really good in the band, but I didn't really care for the music too much. The music was really heavy, it seemed like, and as it turns out, the guys that I kind of wanted to be in the band with actually didn't have anything to do with the songwriting. So I went down.
I recorded High Noon too.
Yeah, I actually went down through Laura Gallagher, who was like a booking agent in the
Sure.
area. She had me come down to see the guys, and once I saw him, I was like, man, guitar player is fantastic. The drummer's fantastic. We had a bass player at the time, Steve Kohler, who happened to be a very good player for us. I just, I had to be in this band, so we got together and we actually started writing together. We went through a couple bass players, and well, here came Richie.
Yeah.
What are you doing on the phone?
I'm looking for. Basically, what it was is
He's sexting. He can throw it out there.
Dude, I don't
Oh,
need to see
she's
that.
hot.
the information.
Oh, she's hot. Nah.
I'm looking for the information
Yes,
to
he
give
is.
later. But Bob, supposedly, I asked him this the other day, and I did not know this. I thought they found me through a person who used to book. Her name was Lori Gallagher. I assume that's how they found out about me, because I used to play in bands in the local area with, the same clubs I used to play, Bonnie's
Sure.
Rocks and all those other places, PJ Rollickers. And Bob had said, no, he had found, what was the story you told me the day, how you came about, you told me this like a couple weeks ago about how you came about finding out about me through somebody, was it through my ex-wife?
Oh, yeah, your ex-wife, Rich. Yeah.
That's one good thing she left behind, right?
Yeah. Well, is that the
great
story?
meat.
Tell the story. I don't
Everything else
fully
they
remember
put
the
still and cleaned up.
Tell them the story, Bob.
And therapy.
What was the story?
Sorry, brother, I'm just teasing.
I know you're teasing. What was the story that you were saying about how you really found out about
That was the other day. I don't remember yesterday. Come on, brother.
But here we are today.
Gotta stop that token, man.
But they found you is the key.
It's been a while.
You know?
Yeah, they
and
found me
And you've
and-
been with the band since '91, you said? Roughly?
91. We were together from 91. Well, they were together 1990, right? June 1990. And then I think the band kind of stopped playing. I think it was mainly because the music scene was changing.
Sure. Oh,
It was the grunge thing and everything, and really, it was just an uphill battle for bands like us to.
No doubt.
We knew at that point we weren't going to get a deal. That wasn't what they were signing at the time.
No,
So
it wasn't.
That was
I was there
Sorry.
with you. No, I was there with you for real.
So everybody just stopped and joined cover bands playing
But oddly enough,
Pearl Jam hits.
I remember doing a interview with Rockpaw magazine,
Mm-hmm.
and I nailed it in print. People thought I was insane to say what I did, and I told them that. Well, I gave them honest, at that time too. If you kind of know we're in the same boat and music-wise, and I said, well, no, they're not looking for these winded bands out of Seattle anymore. That's what's already out.
Mm-hmm.
The heavy, thick, grunt guitar, if for lack of a better comparison, is coming back, and they're looking for that. And then you started getting these bands like Godsmack and Alice in Chains even had some, even though they were Seattle. But I mean, these you had a lot of these heavy, thick oriented, chunky riffs that coming back.
I think it all eventually comes back.
Everything does full circle. It's closed music, retro. It becomes the new. You know what I mean? And it's
They
always
run
like
out. They
that.
run out of ideas. There's only so much you can do.
There's only 88 on the keys and so many strings.
7
and you
notes
start,
with sharps and flats. and stuff
yeah,
like
you
that.
start dealing with down tuning and stuff like that to create just a heavier
And some of that music then was cool. Like
Yeah.
Alice in Chains, there was some good
No
stuff
doubt.
then.
Big Lane Stanley
But
fan.
that was a total departure from what we were doing.
Oh, no doubt. No
We
doubt.
were into the happy Van Halen, big stage rocks,
Sure.
thing, and that was just people just wanted to just stand there and look down at their feet and
Mm-hmm.
look all depressed and wear a flannel and talk about how the world sucks.
I saw Van Halen and Alice in Chains opened up, and me and Rich DiCarlo went to the show. He got tickets free. We get there, Alice in Chains is up on stage playing the first song. They stop. Lane Goes High. We're Alice in Chains. This is 1988. We're from Seattle. We have a new album coming out in 2 weeks called Facelift. Here's the single, Man in the Box. And me and Richie were like, who the fuck are these guys? And I went out and bought the record 2 weeks later. And then Van Halen, they by the end of their set, they were actually booing them. They were throwing stuff at the bass player, Mike Starr, who passed.
Yeah.
And he ended up throwing something back at the audience and spitting on them. And it was like this whole thing. And then 3 weeks later, Man in the Box hit MTV. And, like, it was like...
Dominated.
Yeah, it totally took over.
Van who? Well, I mean, they're Van Halen, but still, I mean, at that time, like you said, that was huge.
I remember at the time, I was actually at the show he's talking about, and the whole time they were coming on, everyone's yelling, Eddie, 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 you know. I was at that show.
Any band that was Van Halen back then was going to get ripped apart. Anyway.
No doubt. But I mean, I remember when Soundgarden came out and I saw Rusty Cage. I'm like, these guys are incredible. You know, I totally like got blown away by. Still a huge Chris Cornell fan.
I saw them at the Troc.
He's got a great voice.
I saw them at the Troc, and I was standing next to the soundboard, and there was this like 3/4-inch plywood platform, 4x4, next to the soundboard. I was like, "What's that?" And a mic stand on it. I'm like, "What is that?" Cornell finishes the chorus for this. I forget what song they're playing, and jumps into the stage, and he tells everybody, "I want to go over there," and he's like crowd swimming all the way to the thing, sings the second verse and chorus from this little stage, then jumps back into the audience and goes back to the stage while the band took enough time for him to get back, and then he finished the song back up on the stage.
It's awesome.
I was like, these guys are awesome.
Bob did that every week at Bonnie's. I don't know if you knew that.
Yes, he did. I was there.
And they were throwing like bras, panties. It was mayhem, people. But getting back to these guys, but yeah, no doubt. I mean, it was different times, and like I said, you know, writing's on the wall, which it was. But the good part is like your music, your with F&A Records now, great release of this 20-song CD for crying out loud.
20 songs.
You're giving the people what they want and then some, which is great.
Well, what's cool about F&A is they get bands that didn't do anything, you know, get signed or anything like that, and they have a lot of cool back catalog that's from back in the 80s. And they want to put that out because they want people to hear it.
Well, no doubt. And we're talking, too, like, in America, things are you know, here today, gone today, that quickly. Mm-hmm. I travel abroad a lot of times, and when you go to, I think I was saying it on a couple shows, you know, listen to like American radio. It'll be like in like Germany, and they'll do like a friend Rob Hyman song, a Hooters song, and then they'll get into some like Queen song, into like Trooper by Iron Maiden, and then into like a Nirvana song, like all within 4 songs. You're like, holy cow, like
That's great.
What's your playlist like? And he said, whatever, because they idolize good music. It doesn't matter from what time. There's a respect.
Yes.
Scorpions play here. You know, I've seen them. You know, my wife and me went to the show. Never seen them. Never seen Tesla. So I kind of kicked off the bucket list. One of those checks. Okay, I've seen those 2 bands. And I tell somebody that might be in their 20s, oh yeah, that 80s band. Now over there, they're treated like icons. Which is what they are. I mean, music pioneers, they lived it, you know, and there's a respect that is given immediately to
I
them.
think European audiences just have American, not everybody, I don't want to pigeonhole everybody, but I think in Europe, it's okay to like Madonna and like Iron Maiden, where here you have to
pick and choose a little bit
you
more.
have to be in your pigeonhole or you're not cool, you know.
But I like
trends.
Both. But I like both. See, I'm one of those unique individuals. But
it's all about trends.
So F&A approached you guys, and I mean that must have been really awesome. I mean, because I mean, you think about it, like they're putting your music out there.
To tell you the truth, it's kind of a strange story because they had originally contacted me, and I didn't actually believe it. I was like, "Come on,
right? Yeah,
how, you know, I don't." I've
Publishers
heard this
Clearinghouse. Here we go.
I've heard this before, and then
Right.
somehow the guy got Mike's phone number. Mike happened to be cleaning out his closet, so the guy calls on the phone. He's like, "Oh, I just happened to find the reels here." So then we're like, hey, well, why don't we do this? Mike gave me a call. He's like, hey, do you want to put this out? And I was like, of course I do, man. But do you believe it? And he's like, well, I don't know. We'll find out. Well, it's true. So kind of sweet.
We've done,
after all this time.
You guys are the 3rd F&A band that we've done this season. We did Mark Chason's project, White Fox, and then his separate project called the Chasen Project. And then we also did Cindy and Jimmy Raymond
Funhouse.
from
Great
Funhouse,
friends,
because
yeah.
they're both on the label. And now you guys are the third band from FNA that we've done this year.
What's
So the
really
Trinity
sweet-
is complete, is what we're getting at.
What's really
I'm
sweet
sure more
about
bands
that is, in one way or another, we all know each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Funhouse guys,
South Jersey,
and
Philly thing.
Lady.
so-
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of cool. It's
Well, they're pulling it from that kind of time, of the generation when bands were slugging it out in clubs. You don't see that anymore.
No, you don't.
There's just no clubs.
You're right. You're
It's
right.
a shame.
You don't. And the rooms are dwindling. They really are.
Even
The
cover
big rooms.
bands, even cover bands aren't around like they used to.
They're small bars. They're not like rock clubs.
Right.
There's none.
right.
I had this conversation with Mike Vaganoni. He put up a post on Facebook from Mountain Town Magazine.
Yeah,
and
good
he was
friend,
saying
sure.
How, what's different, or what do you want to see? And I just put a little post. I said, I miss playing shows where there's lights and sound and a show, and going to a club and seeing a show. And I said,
nice
now
stage.
that Dick Lee's is gone, and
Yep.
and he was, man, you hit it on the head, and like it was. It's true. I mean, besides JB McGinney's down in Newcastle,
Yeah.
that you feel like you're playing a real show, or if you
Yeah.
play World Cafe Live.
World
But
Cafe.
I mean, there's not really anything like Dick Lee's, or you know,
No.
the Cell Block, or you know, any Galaxy, all that stuff's disappeared, unfortunately.
Well, if I hit the Powerball, and I'm saying this on the air, I'm going to open up a club like that, and we're just going to have anybody and everybody in the tri-state area play. And I think people realize that's what's lacking here. So if anybody's out there listening, which you are, and anybody of money, which you have, let's put that together. Let's get that thing in motion. Well, speaking of putting something in motion, I want to play as many songs off the album that you guys are putting out. Any release date too?
We do not have a release date at this time. However, everything is done. We're waiting for it to be printed, pressed, and it's
Yeah,
out.
we got it all. So it should be within a month, I would say.
Very cool.
We'll,
Very
we'll,
cool.
we'll post on our Facebook page.
And we'll get to that
Yeah.
where everybody can find all that.
And
Well,
also-
let's go ahead.
We'll lead them to the FNA site too, also, so they can check there. Too.
Absolutely. Well, let's dive right into the album "Keep It Alive" with another great track here by Naughty Jane called "Ain't Nobody's Business."
When we get together, you know it's like paradise. We can do what we want to do. I do whatever you please. Behind these closed doors, when no one else can see, you can touch whatever you want. Let's get naughty. It
Nobody's Business. Naughty Jane in the house. Man, another rocking track. This CD is like building up to a really nice crescendo here. I can see some really, really good tracks.
Yeah, this is another
Thank you,
song that
brother.
we played back in the day, and we just resurrected and brought it back and re-recorded it this past summer.
Well, tell us a little bit about that, about the recording process, where you guys recorded at, because I could hear this, I can hear the warmth on this thing. So I'm here, and normally that equals this was laid on some good tape.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Very cool.
Well, this was done on Pro Tools.
Which would be analog for all those newbies out there, the 25 and unders.
Well,
Yeah, you can
some of our songs are actually originally recorded on 16 track, I believe. Mm-hmm. They were actually transferred to Pro Tools. What we did was Mike came in, he laid down some guitar, a little more guitar, went over a few lead tracks. I came in, I did some more vocal tracks. Richie came in, put down some bass lines. We actually had a backup singer come up, a bass player come in and sing some lines.
Very
Richie,
When was
Richie
this?
laid down all the bass.
When you weren't here,
Caller.
Rich.
We had Steve come in and sing some
When you
backup.
weren't here,
Yeah.
Rich.
Richie laid down all the bass tracks. Sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
And me and Bob did all the background vocals.
Every
Very cool.
background vocal. Yeah.
That sounds great. Sounds
On the
great.
new stuff, yeah.
No, it's actually really cool. It's like, old meets new, and
Old meets
and,
new.
and then there's new altogether, which is cool. So there's a lot of good things on this.
Well,
and I
there's
mean,
there's a story for. They're all demos. Back in the day when you'd put out a demo.
sure.
This was a couple of the songs were part of a demo that they did before I joined in
Right.
'90, and then another batch with another bass player. They had 3 bass players, and then I joined, and then we did a 5-song demo and
Are you the fourth now?
third.
He's number 3.
Third is the
The
charm.
guy that he was
Third is the
talking
I was
about.
going to say fourth is the charm. Don't believe the third if you were the fourth. No, but
He's
no,
quick.
a lot of time, like you said, and you've been with him for quite some time now, and it works when you find somebody it works.
The,
you know
the
what I mean?
process was really cool because we recorded this here in 90.
And where would that be?
Right here at YME Studios.
I was waiting
There
for
you
Bob,
go.
I was waiting for Bob to plug
Lovely
Dr.
So-
Joe,
Yo,
man.
Yo.
New Jersey.
With
But-
the good doctor.
we
Dr.
got
Joe
the 3.
DeLuca.
Mike had the 3 original 16-track reels,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to get them baked because they were a little sticky. And then we took everything. I took everything and brought it into Pro Tools, and they decided what they wanted to do over and add and stuff. And then they brought Damien in because their drummer, the original drummer Dave, lives in Korea now.
Mm-hmm.
And we cut those tracks, and we just tried to make it like a consistent, consistency through the whole thing. But it's
Sure.
actually like the original drums, original background vocals,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of Bob's vocals, a lot of some of Mike's guitars and stuff are still actually just the tape, and then there's some new things added and a couple new songs added. So it's like, and then they did some recording at KGEM with Joe Alexander, your friend of mine.
Very good
That
guy.
are some cassette demos that they had, so we kind of tagged them onto some bonus tracks at the end. They're like rough cuts of a couple of the tunes. And so it was really fun to kind of, like, I mixed these in '92, so it was kind of fun to go back and
Revisit it.
actually do it all over and
Sure.
and kind of hype it up a little bit, and then and then remix it all. And it was really fun working with the guys again. We had a blast. It was over a period of time too. Like it wasn't done in a weekend. We
Sure.
took like eight months or something to do it, and I spent a month off and on mixing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So. And Pete Humphreys did a great job with the mastering. It's slammed
Pete's
all
Very
around.
good dude.
It's-
Very good dude. Mr. Pete Humphries.
I
sure.
texted everybody. It's like, how's it sound, guys? Because I sent them MP3s of non-jacked up level mixes, and they're like, oh man, it sounds awesome. I was like, wait do you hear what Pete does?
Right.
Pete
He
jacked
makes
up.
it go to 11.
Yes, he did. He makes it go to 12 almost.
It is. It's that dial goes to 12. So there might be a lawsuit from Spinal Tap for you boys, but Pete definitely does hit the needle to the edge. But I got to ask you, any good dirt? I hear there's a psychotic engineer producer at YME. So you can he won't take offense. There's a steel 8-inch wall between us right now. Don't let that glass fool you.
After Dane from Explosive Head called me a pretentious prick, jokingly.
Really?
Yeah,
Aw,
remember?
That's a term of endearment, though, Joe,
No,
from
I
him.
know, I know. That's what I mean. From him, that's a compliment. So.
Yeah, that's like saying you're the bomb.com.
But Joe, of all people, though, he's like the coolest, man.
He really is. I mean, we used to say, what was Joe, get in your happy spot? and he definitely knows how to put you there. It's a very
absolutely.
cool, laid back environment. It's a nurturing. Joe's a nurturer. He's like the one that waters the plant, and you will grow, and he'll provide you sunlight. I've done.
He brings the best out of you.
He really
He
does.
does. He does.
It's nothing about changing something. It's. Have you ever thought about it this way? And it's not to hurt the song. It's to implement the song to another level.
And if you hate it, you can just tell me to shut up.
You can. And he won't take offense. He'll just mute you or something like that in a track. It doesn't matter.
I call him the doctor.
Joe is really
He,
awesome.
Yeah.
He fixes me up.
It makes him sound good. Makes him sound like an actual singer.
And
Makes
in
you sound like
a
a
weird
singer.
way, I know I'm going to come to Joe to do whether it's a full song or an acoustic thing or a singer-songwriter thing. I bring him, and then out of nowhere, it's like always in the back of my mind, I would try to find a way, how am I going to get Hammond in on this? and he always gets some kind of keys or Hammonds on.
We got him to play.
Oh, no doubt.
We
No
got him to
doubt.
play. Yeah,
He's
he
great
plays
that
some
way.
keys, absolutely.
But you're definitely in great hands, and that's awesome. Like that old and new, and then you're bringing new tracks to the CD, which is always cool for the people that did see you and have seen you. Like you said, oh, you guys always played that song, but you never did it. Like you never recorded it. So it's like awesome what you're doing on the CD.
Alex, we have one song on there that no one's heard live. We've never played live. It's never
We
been
recorded
demoed.
it before we broke up.
And it's
Actually
probably
demoed on a
we
4-track.
demoed on a 4-track.
One of my
Wow.
4 tracks
Yeah.
that I had back in 1994. It was around
Yeah.
one of
So-
those small little tiny 4
Oh, sure.
tracks.
So you
And,
guys are aware of it, but everybody else
no
isn't.
one's
It's a new-
heard
it's
it.
a
We
new
had
thing
another
for them.
lost track that we wish we can find. It'll taste so good, and we can't find it.
Yeah.
So
It'll come up, and that'll be part of the
Yeah.
second
Part of the
CD.
second CD.
There's always
we had so
there's-
much fun this past summer recording
There's
that
there's
CD.
some more
We won't-
songs in the vault.
no
If
doubt,
not,
no doubt.
we'll make
more.
some just to come back here.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt about it. Well, speaking of which, we want to hear another song off this CD because we do want to get as many on as possible. Tell us a little bit about the next track we're about to hear called To the Top.
This is also another new one that we recorded with on drums. Who played on the five new tracks we have on the album? Damian Monte Carlo from
Mach
Mach
22.
22.
Great dude.
He's a great dude.
I've been friends with Damian's for many years, and we played in
They've
different
been
projects.
on this. Mach 22's been on the show too.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Lamont.
I
they're-
played a
they're
Rat
great.
tribute with Damien. We don't-
Nice.
Yeah, called Rat and Roll. And so
Well, plug that, man. Yeah.
We needed somebody. No, there's no plug. I'm just making a point. So we were looking for the drummer that actually, kind of knew us, and I knew him real well from playing in the bands. So that's always important as a musician.
Sure.
that the bass player and the drummer.
There's a
be on the
comfort
same
zone.
page.
The
Yeah.
pocket's right there, yeah.
So I figured he'd be the perfect guy because he would come in and we kind of know each other, and it really worked out good that way because we did it not one take, but it was pretty quick because we're familiar with each other, and it was just a lot of fun.
Oh, it was a
Very
great time.
cool.
It's a great time.
Well, here's a great track.
Another old track back in the day we used to play.
No doubt. Off of Keep It Alive by Naughty Jane called To the Top.
There ain't nothing that I can do. There ain't nobody that can make me do the things that I do. You know that it's true.
Hey, welcome back to The Edge with Joe and Alex. I want to take this time to thank our first half of the show sponsor, Charlotte's Home Detailing, for home and office cleaning and total organization. Free estimates at 856-870-9837. When in doubt, go to the Affordable Perfectionist. I know I'm going to do a little live spot for her. We use Charlotte's Home Detailing for my own personal home, and I'll tell you what, I call it Renee Day when she comes over and the house is just unbelievable when I come home. It really is. There's nothing better than a very well organized, clean home, and I believe 20% off of deep cleaning for those spring cleanings right around the corner. Now's the time to reach her, and if you mention that you heard it right here on The Edge, I believe there's an additional discount that she'll give you. So please do reach out to Charlotte's Home Detailing. Once again, free estimates at 856-870-9837. All right, guys, we have Naughty Jane in the studio tonight, hanging out with us. And I'll tell you what, every song gets more and more enticing to sit there, and you got to run and buy this CD immediately when you go and you see it available, because it is nothing but really good rock and roll, people. Guys, I'm going to ask you a whole bunch of stuff. Now I'm going to ask you the writing technique. When you write songs or songs that were written, what's the structure like? Is it a guitar riff? Is it, you got to melt? I mean, being a singer, I'll identify with whatever you're saying.
I got to tell you, the guys made it really easy for me. If it's a ballad, a lot of it's Dave, our drummer.
Really?
If it's a rock and roll,
Because that's
song,
usually who I used to avoid listening to in my band.
I got to tell you, I was very fortunate.
Because everything was double bass,
Dude.
even in the ballad.
Oh, dude, Dave could play the hell out of the double bass,
Right.
but he put it in the right spot.
He played piano too. so
Played
that really
piano,
helped.
sang the third.
Wow.
Dave was a major part of our band.
Very
if
cool.
it's a rock and roll riff, guitar, it's Mike. Dave would start all the melodies. I'd finish songs. I'd start a few. Predominantly, our songs were mostly written by Mike and Dave, with Rich adding his parts, me adding some of my parts. But if I'm being honest, Mike and Dave are the primary songwriters of the band.
On the band. Very cool. Very
being
cool.
honest.
Now, on the CD, Keep It Alive, I'm going to ask you individually. I'll start with Rich. What's your favorite track off that
Keep It
CD?
Alive?
Don't pick mine, man.
And why?
I'm telling you that.
And why? It's an A-B question, a two-part.
I would have to say, believe it or not, song which is going to be the last song of the night, "Love Me Tonight." I just think it turned out. I know it's going to be Bob's too, but we had a great time in the studio doing that, and the vocals came out just awesome.
Very cool.
That was a lot of fun to do. I mean, all the new songs with the harmony vocals were just a blast. Me and Bob were just singing in this room together. Not to sound gay.
The lava lamps were going.
We
I
weren't
feel
singing
it.
each other,
I
looking each
feel
other's
it.
eyes.
It's such a zen feeling here, too.
Was that your hand?
Where's your other hand? That's
Bobby
a
like,
documentary. Next show.
Bobby like, okay, that's the root. You got to do the fifth. You got to do the third. Okay. But it was.
I
it
got the
was,
third. You do the fifth.
We didn't have anybody else. I mean, we used to have Dave. Dave's not, longer. He doesn't. He used to sing a lot of the stuff. And Joe can tell you about Dave's singing techniques. How you could tell it's Dave right away. Just
It's funny. Dave was born in Korea and then came over here and then he moved back to Korea. But he has a bit of an accent, and on certain words, his accent comes through. So like when you solo his vocal, you can kind of hear a little bit of his Asian accent, which is we all were kind of making fun of it during the sessions, but not in a bad way, because it sounds good when it's in the track. It's just when you solo it, just to EQ it was just kind of like a like there's Dave.
Right. Right.
You can tell it's
Rah,
Dave.
rah, 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 rah. No, that's
Joe
not
and
okay.
Joe would
Not
always
even close.
and Joe would always point it out, and we just thought it was like, oh, that's Dave. That's definitely
Right.
Dave.
That's
Because he
cool.
had a very distinct type of way he sang things.
Absolutely. And you might catch something where it just shows his,
Absolutely.
ethnic background, which
Absolutely.
is all good, man.
Oh,
To me,
it's-
I kind of leave it. You know what I mean?
I love
I mean,
it.
look at Easy O. I mean, it's all good, man. They made a
Yeah.
career out of it. You know what I mean? Bob, your favorite song?
I got to tell you, I like a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pick
Rich
one, though.
took probably my first or second favorite song, but I kind of like Ain't Nobody's Business that we played earlier.
I have to
And
agree.
why?
Oh, man, it's just got that cool groove.
Yeah,
know,
it does.
To be honest with you,
Bob
I
still thinks
I
it's fast.
guess it's a little quicker than I want it, man, but it's cool. It's cool.
You said
I
that.
just think it's the kind of song you can see a girl kind of like shaking to in the front, you know?
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's why I sing in a
That's
band.
all the
I
strip,
don't know.
that's all the strip clubs he goes to, and he sits there with a drool cup.
Yeah, and what more would one want? Want in life? I mean, besides seeing that.
Well,
But it's like again, it's somebody
Beer.
that's out. Yeah. Besides that.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're up there playing, singing, and you're seeing people totally vibing off your music. That's got to be such a great feeling, right?
Well, the other cool thing about recording this is these new five new songs.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking like a 20-year gap. We've grown so much as people and as musicians. So the band kind of sounds different than it did back then. Because
You don't mean grown up, right? You
No,
mean-
not grown up in that sense.
Just aged,
aged,
There you go.
aged, and got maybe a little.
weathered,
I
left out.
wouldn't say smarter, but maybe
Maybe a little wiser.
wiser,
Yeah.
and just because you're playing enough bands, you played in out. I went to school for doing jazz, played in country bands. Mike's played in wedding bands, a guitar player. He's went to school for jazz.
Casino.
He's taken lessons, vocal, opera, and what else do you take?
You got to get into that, really.
Hey, that's all. That's awesome. man.
But
It really is.
it's just a different way of looking at the band. It was
Sure.
a really cool way to come back to. I mean, I haven't been here since '92 before we started playing here, and I was just like, wow, And Joe's such a great guy, and we have so much fun. It was such a fun summer recording this album.
Oh, no doubt. You're in great hands. Joe.
We just
we
had
had
a
the time of our
blast.
life, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
no
so
doubt.
much fun. We want to just get more songs together so we can come back and drive him nuts.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Well, we're going to dive.
Bring it.
Speaking of the songs you guys did, tell us a little bit about the next track we're going to hear, Hard Time.
Go ahead, Bob.
Hard Time's actually probably the reason that we have this record. Hard Time was actually a song that we had done a video for. Matt Porter Productions. Yo, Matt, if you're out there, brother.
Holler out the Matt.
Great people. Great
Anyway,
video guy there.
My man Matt, he put together this video for us, and it was online. And that's actually how F&A found us. So I guess we owe anything that we have to
The
this
video was
song.
like a marketing tool.
You know, I mean, we're sitting here basically because of this song.
Very cool. Very cool. We're here is another great song off the CD, Keep It Alive by Naughty Jane. And obviously this song right here, you're about to hear, Matt Porter shot a great video too. And he's a very good friend of mine on Facebook and his brother Ant.
Yes.
Very good people.
Yes,
So
sir.
here's another great track off of Keep It Alive by Naughty Jane called Hard Time.
Girl, you know you're driving me insane. Let me tell you what it's all about. All I need's a little loving from you. I ain't asking for much. You're the only thing on my mind. Can't you see I'm in pain? I need a pushing for more, but you just turn away. Won't you let me in? Hard time, I'm doing time the hard way. Hard time, I'm doing time the hard way. Whoa, I feel my heart's in trouble. Whoa, can't you see I'm in misery? I keep on pushing for more, but you just turn away. Won't you let me in? Hard time, I'm doing time the hard way. Hard time, I'm doing time the hard way. Hard time, doing time the hard way. Hard time, doing time the hard way. You know I'm doing time, doing time the hard way. You know I'm doing time, doing time the hard way.
Oh yeah, we're back to the edge with Joe and Alex. That was a great track called "Hard Time" by Naughty Jane. Guys, let me ask you, where can people find out info of when the CD when it will be coming out, when that gets posted? Give us some .coms, .nets, .orgs. Give us all that good stuff
Basically,
info-wise.
the label, I would say go there first because they'll actually have updated versions of what's going on, which is fnarecords.net.
And that's FNA.
FNA. Yep, as letters.
Okay.
They also have a Facebook page because I've been tagging them with interviews and stuff. So
Yes.
you can go to FNA Records on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Yes, sorry. Yes, thank you, Joe. We also have our Facebook page, which I'm sure if you just looked up Naughty Jane, it would come up, but it would be, the actual address is facebook.com/hardtimeng.
Okay.
Oh, and at Twitter, at Naughty Jane Band. That's Twitter, Naughty Jane Band.
So
We also have our website, which right now it's still in the works, but it's there. It's www.jakeassproductions.com/naughtijane. And Jake Ass is a friend of mine, lives in Vegas, a friend of ours.
Absolutely.
And he has been putting together, he's doing a great job. He's been putting the CD artwork all together.
oh, and by the way, who did the artwork? Because the
That's Jake Ass Productions.
Yeah, it looks really good. They
Really good.
Rich sent me a text with it in there to look at. It looks really great.
very nice.
I was,
yeah, no
I was
doubt.
very happy with the job he did.
Oh,
So
without a doubt.
he's going to definitely, more people are going to be hitting him up to do this stuff because he's done a really good job.
Very cool.
I
Very
think
cool.
it's the first album.
Actually,
covers everything.
we are the only band who submitted their own package in full. We use Peter for our mastering,
Sure.
Joe for our mixing, and we also submitted the artwork ourselves. We're the only band from FNA that did do that.
Right.
However, we got lots of compliments from FNA on the job that Jake Ass Productions did for us. So they're pretty happy with it. I'm sure they're probably going to throw a little work that way as well.
Oh, no doubt.
Because
They'll probably
Great job.
They'll probably layer some stuff on top of it too, because I've seen some of the other artwork where they have FNA. They put the label on there and stuff like that too. So they might drop a logo on there or something.
well,
Yeah, that's fine, but it's still his artwork, and it's
yeah,
still
he still did a fantastic job.
And speaking of this CD, I want to try to still squeeze two more. I know we're it's always cool sitting back, but I'm trying to get as much good Mojo songs out here. Tell us a little bit real quick about Paradise.
Paradise is the first ballad that we wrote. It's It's a power ballad, you know,
Very cool.
typical 80s, maybe a little hair bandish, if
Very cool.
you want to call it that. But
Very cool.
I love the song myself, you know.
It's got a lot of dynamics. It starts
Lot of
out slow.
dynamics.
It comes in, it punches you. It's your power ballad, but it's very, very powerful as far as music wise. It's heavier than most ballads.
I believe this is also a song where I don't think Mike actually changed any of the solos. He did such a nice job on the first ones.
Yeah,
I think he chose to actually leave these alone.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm not familiar with these songs because these
It's got
songs.
like a three-way or three-part harmony, I think, in the solo.
Very cool. Very cool.
The cool thing about these songs is like the song like Paradise was done years ago when a little cassette tape was lost. No one could find it.
Then it got
He had
found.
it was found on the reels, but nobody ever had a copy of it. We were like, oh, let me hear it, you know? And it's like, oh, no one has it.
Yeah, we had to
you
kind
know?
of
That's
go over
killer.
that one again.
So a lot of these songs I don't even remember.
Right,
You know,
right. No
because
doubt.
it was before I was in the band. We played them, but I never heard the originals.
Well, we're going to dive right into that. Here's another great track off of Keep It Alive by Naughty Jane with a song called Paradise.
I know a place where we can be together forever, just you and me. It's all we've got and all we need. Just hold me tight and don't let me go. Don't let me go.
Hey, welcome back to The Edge. That was Naughty Jane with a song called Paradise off their soon-to-be-released CD called Keep It Alive. Guys, thank you so much for coming into the studio here tonight, hanging out, shooting the shit, as they say, laying some really nice tracks for us to play for people out there for your CD coming out on F&A Records.
It's our pleasure, man. Are you kidding?
Very cool, very cool.
Glad to
we
be
look
here.
at we look at Joe as another extension of the band. You know, it's like
He's
he's
like
someone who's-
Clarence.
Yeah,
Clarence
yeah,
on the Beatles, you know?
Yeah.
yeah. George Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fifth Jane.
He's
Which
the
is
fifth-
weird.
the
He knows
fifth
exactly
member.
what I'm
I
talking
think
about.
I'd be more like Billy Preston.
Yes.
Preston, there.
Yes.
He was like the sixth Beatle, really, because George Martin was the fifth.
No doubt. No doubt.
Beatles 101.
But we would definitely like to have you guys back
Yes.
on the show. For those of you that might or might not know, Joe's been a little bit sick, and we want to wish him a speedy recovery. He is my brother from another mother, and
Love to Joe.
yep. We will be back. This will actually be our last show of the season, so we ended off on a very high note with the great band Naughty Jane, which is like nothing short of awesome. We do want you guys to come back, and
Hopefully
we'll.
have something new to plug.
Oh, absolutely. Well, 20
By
songs.
then,
That's like
yeah.
5 shows, 6 shows right there. Come
No,
on,
but I
hello.
mean like some new recordings.
Oh, that'd be awesome too. Now for our shameless plugs, you can check out The Edge on Reverb Nation, Facebook, SoundCloud, and our new YouTube channel. That's brought to you each and every week by one of our other great sponsors here, Studio 302 Productions, the very talented Dustin Detour. You can check out them on Facebook at Studio 302 and their website, www.studio302production.wix.com/Studio 302. Also, we want to thank our other sponsor, Chico, from Chico's Crow's Net Tattoos in lovely downtown Wilmington, Delaware on Grub Road. You can reach him at 302-475-6805. We want to thank all our sponsors for giving our listeners each and every week the great opportunity to hear all these great bands and lets us continue to do what we do, which is have a whole bunch of fun with all these great bands. Also, each and every Wednesday, you can hear us on PhillyRockRadio.com. Every Thursday on DigitalRevolutionRadio.com. And for any and all of your recording needs, please visit our good friend, Mr. Joe DeLuca at YME Recording at 856-435-4093 and tell them that The Edge, all of them, that The Edge sent you, and they will give you a whole bunch of good stuff. Probably, I don't know, maybe soup in a can to go. Something good they'll give you just because we sent you.
Thank you, sir. And I just want to say I had a blast with you guys doing everything over again after all these years. It was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Love you guys.
Yep.
Love you too, man.
Me too, man. It was a lot of fun.
We're going to ride out the show here with a great song called Love Me Tonight, which you said, Rich, was one of your favorite tracks off the CD.
I just like how the vocals really came out with me and Bob.
Very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
So, guys, thanks once again for hanging out, shooting a breeze with us a little bit. We do invite you back to the show.
Thanks, Alex.
And we look forward to nothing but bigger and better things from Naughty Jane. So when that comes out, people, you heard it here. Go buy that CD, visit F&A Records and their website and buy the CD.
FNArecords.net.
Absolutely. Buy the CD. Buy. It's something you want to have rocking in your car, in your head, all day long because the music is really, really, really good. So here we go with Love Me Tonight by Naughty Jane.